Welcome back to another realistic rebuild. This time around, we're going to be doing the Miami Dolphins. What is a realistic rebuild? It's a more laid-back rebuild where I lead a team to a Super Bowl win. I chose the Miami Dolphins because they actually are a very interesting team. When we take a look at the lineup, we can see that they had two major trades signings this free agency. Teron Armstead, left tackle, was one of those signings, and the other was, of course, star wide receiver Tyreek Hill from the Kansas City Chiefs. So these two have really brought a lot of quality to the team. I have loaded in a roster file that has all the changes from the 21st of April. Today is the 23rd of April, so when you are viewing this, there might have been a few changes to the teams, but we are mostly up to date. Let's take a quick look at the squad itself. At left tackle, we already covered Teron Armstead, 31 years old, superstar depth trait. At left guard, we've got Solomon Kindley, 25 years old, star def, 74 overall. So this is a player that is really looking good. He's young, he's going to improve, and he's starting at a reasonable overall. At center, we've got Austin Jackson, 75 overall, 23 years old, normal def. But I do think that he will be a good center going forward, so I see no need for change there. Right guard, Robert Hunt, 26 years old, 77 overall, star def trait. Same thing. I think that we can work with this. He will improve. He's going to go up in overall. At left tackle, we've got 24-year-old Liam Eichenberg from Notre Dame, 73 years old and a normal def trait. His age is good. This means that he has time to grow, but he's got a normal def trait, so we will have to be monitoring how quickly he can improve. At tight end, we've got Mike Beziki, one of the stars of the team, 26 years old from Penn State, 91 overall already, and star dev, so he will be improving. That's great. As for the wide receiver one position, Tyreek Hill, we already covered that. He's 28 now, has a superstar X factor, so he's definitely wide receiver one and a very good receiver at that, but his age is something that we will simply have to keep in mind during this rebuild. Behind him, we have Cedric Wilson, 26 years old, 78 overall. This is great. He's a good backup. And then we've got Lynn Bowden Jr., 24 years old. Again, time to grow. Let's look at wide receiver 2. We've got Jalen Waddle, one of the best wide receivers in the NFL of the season 2021. So he's 23 years old, superstar already, 85. So he will only be going up. I expect him to be getting a superstar X factor at some point in time. So this is a great position. Behind him, we've got Isaiah Ford, 26, 72 overall. We can keep him there. And Trent Sherfield, 26, 69 overall. This is just for depth. No concerns there. Halfback, Raheem Mostert, is 30 years old. He's from Purdue, 81 overall, and a star def trait. This is one of those players that looks good. He's 81 and he's got a star def trait, but his age means that he will be declining sooner or later, despite his age, despite his development trait. So this is something that I will be addressing pretty quickly. At fullback, we've got Alec Ingold. I'm very happy with that. I always like having a dedicated fullback and not a tight end or some other position just filling in, because fullbacks just tend to be a bit different in their ratings and in their abilities, and he's a very good one at that. So this is great. And for the quarterback position, I've chosen to go with Tua Tagovailoa for this realistic rebuild here. 24 years old, 75 overall. He did have a tricky time in Miami in his first 2 seasons. He was drafted in 2020, so it was a bit of a rough patch with injuries and so on and so forth. So Miami did give a lot of play time to Teddy Bridgewater, who's an okay backup for me, but definitely not my QB1. On defense, things are looking quite similar. Our free safety, Javon Holland, 22 years old, star def, 85 overall, great stuff, really happy with him. Behind him we've got Sheldrick Redwine, good backup, so no need to change anything there. Jalen Phillips, our right outside linebacker, 23 years old, 81 overall, great stuff, happy with him. And again, we've got a capable backup here, so this is no position that we need to focus on. We do have trouble at the mid linebacker position because we only have one real mid linebacker. That's Jerome Baker, 25 years old. And if you look at the depth chart, there's no other linebacker, mid linebacker on the squad. So this is something that we will be addressing right now in this free agency window because we need a depth. Looking at the left outside linebacker, Andrew Van Ginkel, 27-81, so this is fine. Looking over here at strong safety, Eric Rowe, 29, normal def and 78. So it's a good utility player, but he will be regressing as soon as he hits that 30. So this is something that we need to address quickly. Similar situation looking at the cornerbacks. We've got Byron Jones, our CB2. He's 29 years old, 89 overall, so that's fine. But again, he will be regressing. CB1 is Xavier Howard, 29 and 90 overall, superstar dev. But again, this is these two will start regressing, so this is something that we need to keep in mind. But we do have really good corners behind them. We've got Nick Needham, 25 star dev. We have Javon Holland, who's actually a free safety, so he's filling in here. I do not want to use him. And a tricky name in here, Noah Igbinoghene, 76 overall star dev, 22 years old. So these are the corners of the future. And I was thinking of maybe bringing in good mid linebacker in a trade and using Xavier Howard for this trade. So we'll be looking at that shortly. Right edge, Christian Wilkins, 26, 82 overall, star dev, that's okay. D tackle, Raekwon Davis, 25 years old, star dev. And at left edge, we've got Emmanuel Okpa, 28 and 85. So this is another player that I'm keeping my eye on. Right now he's okay, but we might start to trade in about one or two seasons here. So wrapping it up, taking a quick look at the special teams, we have two workable kickers here. One is Jason Sanders, he's the kicker, 26 overall, 26 years old, 81 overall, happy with that. Second is Thomas Morstead, 74 overall, our punter, 36 years, so we might need to do something in the next free agency window. For now, he's okay. Looking at the defense, again, mid linebacker is my biggest concern right now, as is the strong safety. 29 and 78 is not really something that I like to start with. And the second thing on offense is, let me just do a quick check, which one was it? Yeah, obviously Teron Armstead, he's the oldest one, 31 and superstar. I might trade him as long as we can still get something useful for him. So let's just go ahead and do just that. All right, so this deal is done. We are sending Teron Armstead, 5th round, 7th round pick to the Falcons. We are receiving the #1 overall pick. We'll be using this to leverage a bit and generate other first draft picks. All right, next deal done. We are sending Xavier Howard to the Packers, receiving round 1 pick 22. All right, so we are using the first round pick #1 and a second round pick, trading to the Eagles. We are receiving 2 first round picks, 11 and 24. All right, we are trading our strong safety Rowe to the Broncos. We are receiving strong safety Johnson. He is way younger by around 7 years and not that much behind. Plus he's a scheme fit, so he will be improving quickly. All right, we are sending our corner Jones 88 overall to the Bears. We are receiving 85 overall corner Johnson, who is 23 years old, so we are winning around 6 years here. Good news, we have 2 accepted contracts, one for a new punter, Jamie Gillen, and the second for a mid linebacker, Devonta Hightower, just to have a second secure player right there at that central position. Okay, final deal before the draft done. We are sending our halfback Raheem Mostert to the Eagles. We are receiving halfback Gainwell, who is younger and only 6 less in overalls. The 2022 draft has completed, and we will be looking at our picks. First pick was George Karlaftis. We needed a left edge. This will enable me to trade our current player there, George Karlaftis, 21-year-old rookie out of Purdue, 74 overall, and very good ratings already. He's quick, he's strong, he's got very good power moves, and overall he will be developing just fine. Second pick was left tackle Trevor Penning out of Northern Iowa, 73 overall. Again, good ratings, very good strength, so he will be helping our offensive line. Third pick was a new corner, Trent Mcduffie. I just wanted to bring him in. He will definitely help us, and he's scheme fit. He's hidden depth trait, 74 overall at 21 years old already. He's very quick and so on. So I'm thinking of maybe switching over to strong safety, looking for a player there. Next up, we've got Jaquan Brisker, 74-year-old, strong safety, 22-year-old. Sorry about that. 22 years old, hidden depth trait, Penn State. And again, you can see great ratings. He's very quick, great acceleration, great speed. Hit power is very high. So very good for building upon. Mid linebacker Jojo Doman is depth player for now, 22-year-old rookie out of Nebraska at 62 normal depth trait. Greg Dulcich, tight end. He's a 61 overall normal depth trait. And cornerback Tariq Casto-Fields was our next pick, 67 overall normal depth trait out of Penn State. And finally, Kennedy Brooks, a 23-year-old rookie out of Oklahoma, normal depth trait. And again, he's got very good stats in regards to speed, acceleration, agility, change of direction. So this is very, very good for us to build upon. His catching, medium route, pass block, and so on. But this will have to be developed, but he's scheme fit and young, so this shouldn't take too long. Alright, final deal done before we start into the new season. We have traded our left edge Ogba to the Browns, and we are receiving mid linebacker Christian Harris, 74 overall, and a scheme fit, as well as a 4th round pick. Okay, so now let's get the journey underway. We are at the beginning of the 2022 season. Now the preseason game is the next up against San Francisco. A quick look at our roster before we head into the season. I did switch around a little bit. We now have Liam Eichenberg at left tackle over here. I have Kindley up at left guard. Our backup here is Connor Williams. We will have to see who will be improving quicker of these two. Center is Jackson, that's unchanged, as well as right guard Robert Hunt. At the right tackle, we have now used our left tackle Trevor Penning. I do think that the right side could use a little bit more power, so that's why I put him over here. Mike Gesicki, our tight end. Wide receivers are unchanged. We are starting into this season with our new halfback Chase Edmonds here, followed by Myles Gaskin, and then Kenneth Gainwell. Let me just put Myles Gaskin up here. I don't know why he's down there. So that's that. Tua Tagovailoa will be our quarterback, and Ingold is our fullback. Nothing changed here. On the defensive side, there are a few changes. We now have Javon Holland at free safety. That has stayed the same, but we will be putting Jaquan Brisker at our strong safety. Andy Van Ginkel, left outside linebacker, unchanged. Then we've got Baker here, Jerome Baker at the mid linebacker. I will be pulling up Christian Harris to mid linebacker 2, so I think these two are a good duo, and behind them we have a little bit of depth. Or at outside linebacker, we usually have Jalen Phillips, but he's injured for 1 more week, but after that he will be filling that position again. Our corners are pretty much unchanged. We have the newly brought in Jalen Johnson at an 86. Behind him we've got Igbinogene, the 76 overall. Over here we've got Nick Needham. I'm happy with him, but I will be bringing up Trent McDuffie because I want to reveal the depth trait. Over here, George Karlaftis will be our left edge. We've got Wilkins at the right edge, the 26-year-old out of Clemson. And our D tackle usually is Davis, but he's injured for 2 more weeks. So at the moment we're looking a bit funny over here, but this will not detract from our plans. I think I might be dragging Zieler up here just to have a higher rated player there than a 66. At special teams, we now have Sanders as our kicker and the punter Jamie Gillen with Morstead as a backup. In a realistic rebuild, I will now be heading to mid-season. We will do a quick check. If we have revealed depth traits, we will see if our roster is up to par, and then we will be heading out towards the playoffs. Okay, so we're at the halfway point of the 2022 season now. Dolphins at 3-4. Didn't expect anything crazy this season. We do have 2 returnees from injury, Brandon Scarlett and Raquan Davis. That's positive. Let's do a quick player upgrade now, and then we'll be heading into the roster. Okay, so quick check of the roster. We have Trevor Penning over here, 185 downs played, so I think we will have to wait until the end of the season to reveal this depth trait. Connor Williams at a 78, and Kindley went up to a 75. I'm still looking towards Kindley. Maybe he can grow a bit quicker, but for the moment I think Connor Williams is our better bet. He is the same age and has a higher overall, plus he's a scheme fit. At center we've got Jackson, who's gone up a little bit. We've got Hunt at an 80. His ratings have improved, so that's looking good. There seems to be a slight moral dip, but nevertheless this will not stop us. Liam Eichenberg at right tackle, and Tua has gone up to a 77, so looking good here. I feel that with good results his overalls will start improving as well. And in defense I do not see any major changes. I do see that we've got Raquan Davis back, which is great. He's now back from injury. Harris has dropped again. I will be putting up again 262 downs played, so that's great. And still no depth trait reveal for Jaquan Brisker at strong safety. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the way this squad is looking like. We've got a lot of young players, we've got a lot of good players, we've got good depth traits, so these should be improving quite quickly. Cornerback 2, Trent McDuffie, has been revealed. He's a star dev right now, so this is very positive. Again, let's head out and towards the end of the regular season, see if we maybe make the playoffs by any chance, and if not, then we are off to off season and again improving the team. Alright, so we got a press conference here regarding Tua. So asking the questions regarding our quarterback. So in the next game we need 4 total touchdowns with Tua to increase his depth trade to superstar. I will not be taking care of this game, so I'll be letting the game just do its thing. We will see what happens at the end of the regular season. At the end of the 2022 season, we now find ourselves at the 3rd spot in the AFC East. The Dolphins are at a 6-11 overall, so we could say that our season has continued the way that it started. We started out with 3 wins and 4 losses when we checked the last time. This time now we can see that we did collect a few more losses than again a few wins. But we are far from being really stable. What I do like seeing is that our overalls did go up to an 87 overall with an 87 offense and an 87 defense. All right, player renegotiation time. We have 7 players that want to negotiate with us. So let's go through them quickly. Andrew Van Ginkel, 28 years old and an 82 overall. Not quite sure what to make of this. It is quite an expensive contract, but I do think that he will be good for the squad, so I am looking to keep him. Next up, we've got our halfback, Myles Gaskin, our starting halfback, so of course we want to keep him. He's not that expensive, over 6 years, so this is great news that he's re-signing. Next up, left guard Connor Williams. Let me just see. All right, he's the first one of the left guards that is looking for a contract extension. I'm quite happy with him. I will be giving him a contract extension again. Greg Little at right tackle. He is a backup player, but nevertheless, I like the look of him. 74 and 25 overall, so this is good. Brennan Scarlett at left outside linebacker. Is a classic backup player for me, nothing more, nothing less. So I will be giving him this 1-year contract deal. There's not much to be said right there. D-tackle Cedric Lattimore, I will not be extending his contract. And Benito Jones at D-tackle, neither. So these 2 I will be looking to replace. I think that we may get better players, or at least players with scheme fit. They should help us more than these 2. Quick analysis of our roster before heading into the free agency. Trevor Penning has gone up to a star dev, so this is positive. He has revealed his dev trait, and his overalls are looking good. I really like his strength and his blocking, so this is the way to go. At left tackle. Left guard, we just re-signed Connor Williams. Very happy with him. At center, we've got Austin Jackson, who is a 78, pushed a little bit by morale, so a 79, but this will work for us. Robert Hunt at right guard is looking good as well. Liam Eichenberg is my right tackle, and I'm going to stick with him. No need to change anything there. Mike Beziki, tight end, will be keeping him. Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, who is still at a superstar X Factor. Let's monitor that closely. Myles Gaskin, we just re-signed. Alec Ingold did go down to a normal dev trait, but this doesn't worry me in the slightest. He's a very capable fullback. And our quarterback, our QB1, has been revealed quite obviously. It's Tua. He still has a star dev. He's now at a 79. Didn't get that superstar challenge. Did not play that during the season. Terry Bridgewater did go down, so right decision to stick with Tua here. On defense, we can now see that we have gone up to superstar with Jalen Phillips. This is great news. Very happy. We've still got Holland at free safety. Chris Harris is a star dev. That was revealed. So Harris Baker are mid linebackers for the future. Andrew Van Ginkel was re-signed. Jaquan Brisker has been revealed as a star dev trait, 23 years old, very positive. Trent Mcduffie we already knew. George Karlaftis is our left edge and revealed as a star dev trait. Over here we have Jalen Johnson, corner. He's now gone up to an 87. Very happy with my defense and my offense. We've got mostly very young players, talent players. The only player where I'm bit worried is D-tackle Raekwon Davis. So we might do something right here, be it looking for a new right edge and putting Wilkins in charge here, or just going straight up for a new D-tackle. So heading into free agency, I would conclude D-tackle is one position that I'm looking for, and apart from that, no need on offense. I am trusting of these players here, and since this is a realistic rebuild, I will not be going completely overboard here. I think that we are in a good position, so let's head into free agency, see what we can do. Good news, we have a contract accepted by D-tackle Wharton here. That was actually the only offer that I made in free agency. I do not feel that we need to change anything very quickly. That was the only player that really needed changing, the only position where we needed an upgrade. Let me just give him a face. All right, feeling a little bit like in a Nicolas Cage movie, face off, face on. So we have now given a face to Wharton, Tershawn Wharton, a 25-year-old D-tackle. He's a 77 overall, great strength, great finesse moves, great tackle and acceleration. Speed is good as well. So this is really an improvement at that position. Really feel confident that he will be helping us towards reaching our targets. Time for the draft recap. We have picked Kirk Douglas, left tackle out of Oregon, with our first pick. He has a hidden depth trait. He's got great strength, very good attributes looking at run block power, pass block power, impact blocking and awareness. And down here you can see that he's very tough, acceleration, stamina, injury, all very good. A few of these attributes of course can need improving, but we will be looking at that as time progresses. Next up we pick the iconic Graham. I just had to pick that one with that name. Hidden depth trait again, 21 years old, out of Oklahoma State, right guard. He's got great strength, very good run block power, lead block, impact blocking. And down here you can see acceleration, stamina, toughness, all very good. So this should help our offensive line quite a bit. Next pick was left guard Demetrius Ware. I need a depth player. With the contracts running out, I will be clearing cap space a little bit, and these rookies are always a great way to do that. So he was our third pick. Fourth pick, Dalton Keaton, a free safety, 22 years old, out of Alabama. Nothing crazy here. He does have good attributes looking at speed, acceleration, pursuit, but everything else just really needs to improve quite a lot. Brandon Clemens, 22 years old, out of Oklahoma, right edge. Again, for depth, but he is already looking quite good. Power moves is very weak, as is play recognition. Block shedding awareness also really in dire need of improvement, but speed, acceleration, strength, finesse moves, tackle and agility, very good. So these were the reasons I did pick him. Tremaine Spearman, 22-year-old rookie out of Penn, left outside linebacker. Definitely one for the depth chart, as is Danny Matthews, wide receiver, 68 overall, out of Lehigh. Brian Oakley, 63-year-old from Vanderbilt. Again, he is a center, great strength, great pass block power. Apart from that, a lot of things that really need improvement. And finally, we did pick halfback Matty Preston. I don't think that he's got a huge future with us, but yeah, let's just slot him into the depth chart and into the practice squad and see how he can develop. Alright, we will be ending this episode of the realistic rebuild of the Miami Dolphins now at the beginning of the new season. But before we do that, let's take a final look at our roster. Trevor Penning at left tackle, Connor Williams left guard. Everything unchanged. I did change Kirk Nicholas to right tackle so that he can slot in right here above Liam Eichenberg. This is nothing to do with Liam Eichenberg. It's just that I would really like to see his depth rate. And if he's got a higher depth rate than Liam Eichenberg, then we can of course just switch this up. Otherwise, we've got a good backup in here. At wide receivers, Tyreek Hill is out injured for 1 more week, so he will be back for regular season. Tua is our starting quarterback. Nothing changed here. On defense, I will be dragging Jaquan Brisker up. So this is the squad that we will be heading into the new season with. I do really hope that we will be able to reach the playoffs, and I will be able to show you some gameplay footage in the next episode. As always, a realistic rebuild is a more in-depth rebuild where I just take a little bit more time and don't compress everything into one episode like I do with quick and dirty rebuilds. So yeah, if you like this format, please just leave me a like or subscribe to the channel. This always helps me a lot, and as always, thank you for watching. See you next time.